So without any further ado, you guys are ready? It is my absolute privilege to bring to the stage the one, the only. It is Dave Foley, everybody. Oh, you're just standing right there. Dave Foley.
Hi.
Just casually.
Thank you.
Hi.
I didn't want to miss the intro.
Oh, yeah, I think you got it. You made
Yeah.
it. And you're here early, too. Very prompt. What a great quality,
yeah.
Dave.
Which is really it's out of character for me. I'm usually late for everything.
Well,
all right, yeah.
You're here now. How's the weekend so far?
It's been very pleasant. It's been delightful. Everyone's been incredibly friendly and kind and nice. And I've got to meet some Vincent D'Onofrio, who I'm a big fan of, and John Barrowman so far, and Richard and Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot
yeah,
of
I've been nerding out as well.
This is the place to be, to like meet some wonderful. Have you ever been to a John Barrowman panel?
No, I haven't. No.
They are like, it's something else. He dresses up, he does the thing. Yeah, it's
I've heard he loves to perform.
Yes.
Yes,
amazing. But thank you so much. This is so exciting. I always love getting to pick your brain and talk to you. So
well, it sounds horrible when you put it that way.
it sure does. I take that.
In fact,
all
I'm not
back.
sure I'm going to stay for this.
It's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. All right. I have to open with this because I am so incredibly fascinated. The last time I spoke with you, there's something happening in this world right now, right? These UAP sightings.
UAP, yes.
Is this okay?
Unexplained anomalous phenomena.
Yeah.
Is now they've changed what it means again.
I had to write it down because I thought it was UFO, and I'm behind on the times.
It was UFOs for a long time, yeah. But recently they switched it to UAP, which was unexplained aerial phenomena at first, and now they've changed it to unexplained anomalous phenomena.
You've experienced these phenomenons before, yes?
I have. I was interested in it for a long time, and had never seen anything. But then, excuse me, a year ago, January, I was out in the Ojai Valley, and I actually saw a UFO with a friend of mine, which was amazing. Yeah, because I've been sort of interested in this subject and had and I don't know if anyone here knows, but UFOs are real, and in fact, the Pentagon has admitted to it, and nobody knows what they are or what to do about it.
Should we be scared?
Possibly. I mean, that's the thing. We should possibly be scared.
I feel like if they're coming anywhere, they're coming to a Comic-Con, right? Like
well, you would think.
Like, they're probably here now. They're among us.
I'm looking around, and at least one in three of you, I think, is suspicious. Yeah.
Is there any like signs we need to look out for? Like what should we be aware of, Dave?
Oh, with UAP? Well, I mean, the main thing to be aware of is that right now there was the only, I don't know if you know this, but the country's fairly divided lately. I don't know if you've heard.
What?
And Congress hasn't really been able to do anything for about 16 years. But the one thing they have unanimous support for is legislation that was written demanding that the military give Congress full reports on UFOs. And that was a bipartisan, unanimous legislation that created something called ARROW, which was a government organization, a military reporting office that has to report to Congress about UFOs. And they've also given whistleblower protection to people within the military and people who work for military contractors, that they can come forward and talk about UFO programs.
This is so wild to me. So it's like UFOs bringing America together.
It's the one thing that Congress has been able to agree on.
Wow, we did it.
Yes. Well, they did it, whoever they are. Yeah.
Whoever
the hell they are.
I love it.
They finally brought America together.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you can hear us, I know you're listening.
Yeah, Reagan was right. Who knew? Yeah.
So to pivot ever so slightly, I think a couple of days ago, I saw you tweeted a video of you were singing with a band called, was it Sloan?
Sloan, yeah.
Yeah. So what is your go-to like karaoke song? Like if we're at the VIP after party, are you doing some Rush? What are we getting here?
No, for me, it's any of the Bowie that isn't too challenging. That'll be
What's that?
Let's Dance isn't too bad, or
really?
I
feel like that one's pretty okay.
Yeah, I can do a passable Bowie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can kind of do Mick Jagger.
Yeah, well, that's a lot more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you do the dancing part.
Yeah, of course. We could do some dancing in the street, maybe.
Yeah. But I did. The only celebrity impression I ever did was I did a Christmas special in Canada, and I recreated the Bing Crosby David Bowie duet with Joe Flaherty and Dave Thomas, where I had Dave Thomas as Bob Hope and Joe Flaherty as Bing Crosby.
What an iconic performance that is.
It was really fun to do.
Oh, man. I love it. I love it so much. To pivot again, we're going to have a lot of pivoting here today, Dave.
All right. You're going to get dizzy, though.
I know. Good thing we're sitting down.
You're supposed to spot, right? You're supposed to hold one spot.
Right, when we're doing our pirouettes.
Yeah.
So you have obviously been part of so many wonderful, wonderful projects, but I think it's pretty cool to see in writing that you have been in 2 of the 100 greatest TV shows of all time, and this is according to Rolling Stone.
Well, I have been majorly in 2 of them. I have actually been in 7 of the 100 greatest shows of all time as at least a guest star.
So I was a couple off. You've been in 7.
Yeah, including now Fargo, because I just finished shooting Fargo.
Yes,
yeah.
That's amazing. That's something I definitely want to pick your brain about. Talk to you about. I should stop saying pick your brain. Something I would love to talk to you.
How about just ask me a question about?
Yeah.
Instead of tearing my brain apart with some sort of a hook.
I apologize. It's the fingernails, I suppose. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming season of Fargo?
I can't. They're very secretive about it. I can tell you who's in it.
Okay.
Which is it stars Juno Temple from Ted Lasso and John Hamm from John Hamm stuff. Jennifer Jason Leigh is in it. Joe Keery from Stranger Things. Lamorne Morris from The New Girl. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but it's a great bunch of people. It's a terrific cast. And the script, it's if you're a fan of Fargo, and this season it's sort of a return to the form. It's back. We're back in Minnesota, and it's set in 2019. And I can't tell you anything about the plot without being sued.
Okay, we don't want that.
No.
Can you tell us where you filmed? Are you allowed
We
to
shot
mention?
in Calgary.
Oh, you shot in Calgary.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. All the seasons except for the Chris Rock season were all shot in Calgary. They're very possessive of the show in Calgary. Yeah.
And obviously, we're living in a crazy world post-pandemic. Can you tell us a little bit about have the guidelines for the protocol for shooting now? Has it settled down a little bit, or is it still pretty strict?
It's much less strict than it was a couple of years ago. Even when we were shooting the Kids in the Hall reboot, we had pretty strict rules and zones. And I remember doing doing an episode of Young Sheldon early in COVID, and it was incredible. Everyone had an assigned zone, and you're only allowed to be around people in your zone, and you weren't, So it was weird for me because it was the first time I'd been on a production where I never got to see the writers or talk to the producers, because usually I'd get to hang out with them and talk to them all day. So everyone was kind of separate, and of course there's still masks on sets, which means that now when you're done, I finally have an excuse for not remembering any of the crew. Before it was just that I was an asshole. But it's true. It's it's weird that you work with these people for months, and then and if you see them off set, you don't know who they are because you never get as I said. And I'm used to getting to know the crew, and so there's those. I miss those elements of being on set where there was much more of a camaraderie, and everyone hanging out and interacting. But it's a little better than it was. People are now you can at least I'm allowed to be in the same area as the crew. And allowed to talk. We're allowed to talk to each other, even if we can't see each other's faces.
You can blink at each other a lot. Communicate.
So that's nice.
Awesome. Well, I know we all look forward to actually getting to see Fargo. And
it's really good. Yeah, it's really a good.
So that
season.
You can tell us. It's really
I can tell you it's really good. Yeah.
We'll take it. Okay, we're pivoting again. Ready?
All right.
Here we go. I want us to talk about A Bug's Life, which is obviously okay. I got to gasp. We love it. We love it. Obviously, you played Flick, and you're incredible. Yep. So I hope this question goes over. We're going to see. What bug would you most want to be and why?
Oh, let's see. Maybe a cicada, because they get to sleep for 17 years.
Really?
Yeah, I think that'd be all right. Just every 17 years you get out, get some stuff done, then go back for another 17 years of sleep.
Yeah.
Perfect life.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a cicada story. That sounds great.
Yeah.
What about your fellow kids in the hall? Which kind of bugs would they be?
I have to go with cockroaches because you can't kill them. The kids and all just will not go away.
I mean, that's what we hope for. We never want you guys to go away.
Yeah, well, we're at this year is we've been the kids in the hall for 40 years at this point. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was 20 when the group formed. So yeah.
I'm doing the math. Wow. Oh my gosh. Good for you. So,
I know.
I mean, obviously.
I just turned 60.
Happy birthday.
It shows, right?
In January, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you look amazing. Obviously, like 40 years, that's a long relationship. And what is like the secret to keeping a relationship alive for 40
Cheating
years?
constantly. Yeah. No, that's the thing. We never, when we started out as a bunch of young punks, we didn't think we'd be together for 5 years, never mind 40. So we're as startled as anybody that we're still doing it after all this time. As Bruce McCullough always likes to say, we're like old blues musicians. We just you never retire. You just keep gigging as long as people show up.
Well, here's to another 40 years.
Well, thank you.
Amazing.
Oh God, that sounds horrifying.
I have faith in you.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have a microphone. I know it can be a little bit intimidating, but whatever questions you guys may have, now is your opportunity to ask literally anything. I asked him what bug he would be. Yeah.
I will curb all of my mean responses.
What's your name?
Nikki, is this? Oh, great, awesome.
Yeah, I can hear you.
And last one, laughing.
Oh yes.
Other than yourself, who got you closest to breaking out in giggles?
God, it was probably the two guys who went down to the end there, Colin and Tom, because they're both old friends. Trevor was pretty funny too. Then all of them. But probably Tom was the guy who got me closest. Especially when he's doing all of his lame Johnny Carson jokes.
I like the cheese sandwich.
That I could have just killed him over.
Yeah.
Stop.
Who in Kids of the Hall do you think would like be able to endure the most without laughing?
The most without laughing? Probably. Well, I would have thought it would be me, but I guess since it wasn't, I'll go with McKinney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has no human emotions.
Fair enough.
So he's got it. Yeah, that's his secret weapon.
What's your name?
My name is Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Hello. I'm a big fan of your work, and my question is two-part. One, are you still the prep and landing guy? And two, do you have any favorite memories from shooting those wonderful Christmas specials?
I do. Well, I will. Well, since we haven't made another one, I think I must still be the prep and landing guy, since they haven't made one where I've been dethroned yet. Close. God, memories of that. It was. I think one of my favorite memories was probably going to the Disney Animation Building for an office party where they screened it for all the animators in the building, and I was there with I think Rob Riggle was there with me, and I had my kids with me, and it was a beautiful Christmas party, and so that was one of my favorite memories, was just actually getting that, and it's still, to me, it's also nice that my family still watches it every Christmas. Yeah, which is really nice, and they're such beautiful. I think they're beautifully done, and Michael Giacchino did an amazing score for them, and so that's the main thing, was just getting to be a part of that group of people. Yeah, thank you.
We love holiday traditions. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jackie. So great to see you here.
Hi, Jackie.
I want to talk Will and Grace.
Sure, all right.
Are you a Will, a Grace, a Jack, or a Karen?
I wish I was a Karen, but I'm probably more of a Will.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. More of this the sensible but neurotic one.
I wish I was. I'm the Grace, so.
You're great.
Yeah. Well, she's a little crazier than Will, so that's more. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
Will
you.
was the most sensible of the whole bunch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great question. I love that. What's your name?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann.
Yes.
We met yesterday. I'm so
Yes, I
happy to
remember.
see you again. So, forgive me for not remembering people's names, but I was so surprised when I watched Hannibal, of all shows, and got to see one of your
Scott Thompson.
Scott Thompson. I loved him in that, and that was so great. And
Yes.
I'm thinking to myself, what else am I missing from these wonderful guys and I just heard about a Christmas special that I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, 3 of them.
So what else should I look for that you guys have been in and that
If you like, there's a show called Superstore
okay.
that Mark McKinney was on for quite a number of years. Yeah, and then what was the show? Mark used to do a show called what's the Shakespeare show he used to do? Slings and Arrows. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Slings and Arrows, and Bruce had a show called Young Drunk Punk for a while on CBC up in Canada. But everyone's
so
been
much
pretty
in
busy.
it. It's like you
Kevin's
can't
done a lot of cartoons too.
catch everything.
Yeah,
but
Kevin
I'm
was
definitely
Pleakley
gonna
in,
start looking for you guys because
Yeah.
it's been a long time and I've enjoyed Kids in the Hall so much and enjoying the new show and
Oh, I'm glad.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And if I may also recommend Sky High, which is one of my favorite films.
Oh yeah,
Check it out.
which Kevin McDonald's also in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Big Brain. What's your name?
Hi.
I'm Wendell, and
Hi, Wendell.
hey, nice to have you here.
Nice to see you. How's it going?
Thanks. Yeah, so this question, it goes back to the 90s, so I know you've done so much
I go back
work
to the
since
90s.
then, so, I'm sure,
I go back to the
I
60s.
hope the details aren't, too fuzzy, but I've always wondered about this big chunk of brain candy that was cut out that had a subplot in which you played this cult leader, and there's this great development.
There was a lot of it. We shot a lot of it. We shot all of it. But yeah, none of it made it into the movie. A lot of things didn't make it into the movie. A lot of things shouldn't have made it into the movie that did. There was. I've heard there is a cut circulating somewhere.
Yes, that's the thing. My main question is, do you remember what the original plan was for the ending with that character? We have a cut where it's kind of choppy.
I don't really remember now. I know. We were there. We were going to kidnap Kevin's character.
Yeah.
And I think we did kidnap Kevin's character and held him hostage, and I think
And then
turned
you take
him.
over the TV station, and there's a weird gag where your character gets a makeover, and then we
Yes.
never see him again. And it's
Yes, for some reason, I run out dressed as one of the cats from the play Cats.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I did a fine leap across a car. But no, I have no idea what happened. I wasn't involved with the editing.
But it was always planned as sort of a non sequitur joke ending. There's no final explanation for the character.
Yeah.
What he does. after that.
There were a lot of loose ends in that movie.
There sure were. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't the tightest script in the world.
All right. Well, thank you. That puzzled me for a long time.
Well, it still puzzles me. So thank you.
All right. Thanks
All
for
right.
your
Cheers.
Your show probably continued to be puzzled, but that's what we love about it. What's your name?
Hey, I'm Michael. Thank you, first of all, for 40 years of awesome sketch comedy.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Were you surprised in the newest season how much the post-apocalyptic DJ kind of blew up?
That was, I don't know. Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, I don't know if everyone saw that. Yeah, but it was one of those sketches that when I wrote it, I originally wrote it for like a live variety show that my wife was producing in L.A. It was on the theme of the Third World War. And then I rewrote it and took a bunch of stuff out of it for the show. And I thought, this is a piece I like and it's fun to do. And I like that transition from the upbeat DJ to the paralyzed, depressed guy listening to the music. And that made me laugh. But I didn't think it was going to be very popular at all. But I guess coming out of the years of COVID and lockdown, I think it tapped into people's feelings about isolation, and it wound up being the most talked about piece in the whole 8 episodes.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
karaoke the brand new key?
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't, no, but it's one of my, I love that song. I had that single when I was a kid. And it was the only, so the whole piece was written around that song.
That's so funny.
Right.
What an iconic season. Now, every time I see an ambulance, it is an ambulance.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
thanks to you guys. What's your name?
I'm Sean. David, how you doing?
Good, Sean. How are
On
you?
the floor and made that comment. They should have made more prep and landings, but hey, you can't control that. I understand. But known as a comedy actor for most of your career, what is another genre that you find the best that you like drama or something like that?
I'm a big sci-fi fantasy fan.
What
So
would
I
be
would
like
love, I would love to do sci-fi.
What's your favorite non-comedy is what I'm trying to get?
Pardon?
Or your favorite non-comedy role?
My favorite that I've done?
That you've done.
Oh, my favorite would probably be From the Earth to the Moon, which was a mini-series Tom Hanks did back in the late 90s, all about the Apollo missions. And I got cast to play Al Bean, who was the fourth man on the moon.
Wow.
And the only Apollo astronaut who left the Apollo program to become a professional artist. And so he said he dedicated the rest of his life to painting the moon. Because he said, well, I'm the only artist that was ever there. So he felt like it was his mission to do paintings of it.
Very cool.
And I got to meet him. And I got to meet most of the Apollo guys, which was fun.
Great question.
Cheers.
And you mentioned you're a sci-fi fan. I mean, I feel like you would be amazing on Star Trek. Have you done anything Star Trek?
But I keep sucking up to all the Star Trek people.
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Ferengi? What's the vision here?
Well, actually, I was a Ferengi in Below Decks. It hasn't aired yet, I don't think, but I recorded a voice for the Star Trek Below Decks, and I was a Ferengi.
Amazing.
For that,
I
yeah.
knew it. I had a feeling. What's your name?
My name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Dave. So, question about news radio.
Okay.
Sadly, every season it seemed like you guys were always, on the verge of, are they going to come back or not? And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, it did.
That's my whole career.
Well, so at least we got 5 seasons of it. But
Yeah.
at the end of the 5th season, when you guys filmed that, was it with the idea of this? Were you thinking like, is this the end, or was there like a plan? Maybe, oh no, we will pick up. We'll be in New England now. Like it'll be a new show.
That was a potential. Yeah, we weren't sure. As I said, every single season, we were never sure if we were canceled or not. So that's why we did. We usually would do a series finale every year.
Yeah.
That's why we did like the space episode and the Titanic episode, where just in case, and also Paul Simms' way of saying "screw you" to the network. So at the end of the series, we didn't know if they were going to bring us back or not, and there were some serious talks that if they did bring us back, we would be in the small town running a local newspaper.
Oh.
Was the idea? Yeah.
So they could still bring it back at this point.
They still
everything comes
could.
back now, so
they
let's
should.
bring it back.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still could. I'd be up for it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Although we'd have to get Andy out of jail, and get Joe to stop making $1 billion a minute.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Alana.
Hi, Alana. I'm very familiar with your costume.
Yeah, I have 2 questions for you. If you had a spin-off character, who would you choose from your original Kids in the Hall?
From the Kids in the Hall? Well, if it was choosing for characters for myself to do,
Yes.
I think I might be Bruno Punch-Jones and Francesca Fiore, who are we did one of the sketches with them in the new show. I think if I was to if any characters that could spin off into a show, I think those 2 could.
Excellent, very romantic. And why won't you call my mother back? That's all.
Thank you. You know why.
I'm going in.
What's your name?
Jack.
I know you, Jack. My new friend.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
right, Dave.
Awesome shirt, Jack.
Thank you so much.
Jack
I made
drew
that
that
shirt.
Yeah, Jack drew that himself. Did the
You
painting.
drew that yourself?
Yeah.
Here, turn around. You have to show everybody.
Yeah, beautiful Bugs Life shirt. Yep.
Can you maybe do your Flick impression by any chance?
Sure. I can do. How about this? Princess Ada, aren't you looking beautiful today?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What a special treat.
Oh, wait, thank you, Jack. It's a special treat to get to meet you.
I am an absolute Bugs Life fan. Flick is by far one of my favorite characters of all time. Wonderful, awesome. I have been a huge fan. I've loved watching that movie ever since I was a kid. When I first saw the movie, of course, I was at my grandmother's.
Yeah.
And I watched that movie on VHS.
Yeah.
And then when I was at my house, I watched it on DVD. I have like 3 versions of that movie on DVD. I have the original the original home video release from 1999. I have the re-release, the Gold Classic Collection, Disney Gold Classic Collection DVD, as well as VHS from 2000, and the 2-disc collector's edition DVD set from 2003.
Oh my
Amazing.
goodness! Wow.
You have us all beat. We are all very envious of
And
that.
I also have 3 Flick toys.
Well, I hope you'll watch the Elon Musk brain implant version that will be coming out.
Jack, thank you so much for your question.
It was
You're
my
amazing.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Jack.
It was a pleasure to meet you again, Dave.
Lovely to meet you, Jack.
And thanks for asking him to do that. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, so I was just wondering, is there going to be another season of Kids in the Hall on Prime? And will there be more Bruno Ponce Jones and Francesca?
Well, there isn't going to be another kids season on Amazon. I'm sorry to say, but we're talking. There's some talk. We may do some other stuff with Amazon down the road, and there will definitely be other Kids in the Hall projects coming along.
Well, it was so good to see them again. It was like seeing old friends again.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it was fun to be them again. Yeah, we had a good time.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Adam.
Hey, Adam.
What's going on, Dave? I just wanted to tell you, thank you for Girl Drink Drunk, because it has set me on a lifelong quest to test every single one of them.
Oh, good.
And,
I hope your blood sugar's okay.
Well, in my circle of friends, that keeps coming up, and I can't even drink, man liquor anymore. I have to go for the girl drinks.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Does that come up in your personal life ever? Or?
Well, it comes up in that it definitely comes up as a sketch that people will bring up a lot with me, and there was a band called Girl Drink Drunk for a while, a punk band, and I'll tell you the story about that sketch is that it's based on a true story, but the true story is it's about Kevin McDonald, who is one of the other Kids in the Hall, for those who don't know, but Kevin had never had a drink until he was in like 30. And when we were on the road on tour, we had a show that didn't go so well. And Mark McKinney took Kevin out to a bar and started buying him things like strawberry margaritas, and brandy Alexanders, and so so in the sketch I play Kevin and Kevin plays Mark McKinney. So Kevin's so it's about Kevin, who's to this day is still a girl drink drunk.
Amazing. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
So I have to admit, my dad raised me well. You guys were every time after school, like on TV, on Comedy Central, on.
Yep.
So I have to ask the infamous question: Is there ever a favorite? I wouldn't say blooper because everything's improv majority, but even a skit that you took part in writing that was your favorite?
Oh, that that's hard to say because
Or a more memorable one.
wrote so many more. But actually, and I got to tell you, on the TV show, there was no improvising.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean there was sometimes a little bit in the dialogue, in the scenes, in the dialogue, we'd play around a little bit. But those sketches were all very. By the time we got on camera, they were all very well scripted out, and we were pretty, pretty. We loved writing, so everything was pretty tightly written. But sketches that one sketch I remember, Kevin and I used to do a sketch called Citizen Kane, which is about a guy who is trying to remember the name of a movie and refuses to admit that it was Citizen Kane. no matter how much he describes it. Oh, yeah, like a rich guy wrote a newspaper, sled named Rosebud. Oh, no, not Citizen Kane. And Kevin and I wrote that sketch in a sandwich shop in Toronto, and it took as long to write it as it takes to perform it. We wrote it like flat, and we never really changed a word of the script that we wrote that day, and we've been performing that sketch for like over 30 years now.
Yeah.
So,
And follow up, since Canadian, do you watch Letterkenny?
I do, yeah.
What's your opinion about those skits?
Oh, they're great. I think those are hilarious, and I'm so happy they've been so successful outside Canada too, which is amazing. I actually saw their live show in Los Angeles last year, and it was great. If you ever get out, if they get out.
I need to move out there is the problem. Like all the comedy is coming from there, so
Yeah.
you guys are breeding something.
Yeah, well, it's our way of getting out of Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Cheers. Hello.
Hi, I'm a children's librarian, and I attempt to host an improv group.
Well, your job is very dangerous now. You can go to jail at any minute.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But I just wondered if you had any tips for teaching, upper elementary, middle school kids improv, and if it's
Teaching improv?
Like,
Oh,
how
my
old
goodness.
were you when you first?
Well, I didn't start doing improv until I was 19. I started taking. That's how I met Kevin McDonald. Was at a Second City workshop in improv. I think the main thing about it is getting that sense of getting the kids to just know that there's no way you can do it wrong. It's impossible to make a mistake in improv. The only thing you need to do is you learn basically the one simplest rule, which is to never say no in a sketch, and to just embrace what all the other kids are doing. And just know that it's just good, dumb fun. And you should just be doing it for the joy of it. Yeah, cheers. And yeah. And stay out of trouble in that library.
So, do you follow the yes and? Is that's
That's the major rule. If you do that, that's the biggest thing to learn. And it sounds like a simple thing to learn. That you always, yes and, it basically just means that you accept what the other actor says and then you advance it somewhere. Mm-hmm. And it's the core of all improv. If you pay attention to that, that's the major rule, and everything else kind of falls into place.
I wanted to also ask about your process as far as writing, because obviously you mentioned you were writing, was it in a coffee shop?
Yeah.
What do you pull inspiration from? Literally anything you see, or where does it come from, Dave?
Oh, it is pretty much anything you see. I mean, some sketches, like there's one sketch that I remember that I wrote, that of course Kevin's in it, about a guy in a restaurant, and he's getting up to leave the restaurant, and he suddenly realizes that he has no hair, but he had hair when he came in. And so he's basically going around the restaurant looking for his hair. And that came out of, we were sitting in the office just watching TV, and I think we were watching the Canadian version of MTV, Much Music. And there was an old 60s dance party show on, and there was a guy in the audience who just had no hair. And I think I don't even think it was me, it was probably Kevin, who started just improvising in that guy's voice. He was just going, oh my God. He was like, look, because there was just a shot of this guy sitting in the audience looking confused. And Kevin, I think it was Kevin who actually said, oh my God, where the hell is my hair? I had hair when I got in here. And I thought, oh my God, that's a great idea for a sketch. And I wrote it up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what's your name?
Hi, Allie.
Hi, Allie.
Do you have a favorite Phil Hartman story?
Pardon?
Do you have a favorite Phil Hartman story?
Favorite Phil Hartman story? Oh, gosh, it's hard to narrow it down. What can I think of? Because there's so many. I can tell you a little bit of trivia about Phil. Was that Phil? I don't know if you know, Phil was also a graphic artist before he became a comedian. He used to do like album covers. Like he did the album cover for the famous album by the band America, Horse with No Name. And but he was also really, really. So it's one thing so all around the set of news radio, he would he was always doodling and leaving drawings all over the place. And which even after we sadly lost Phil, we would still find inside desks and inside prop books, we'd find these drawings that Phil had done. Just doodling, killing time because he was bored with listening to us. But he was also, I don't know if you ever saw the Saturday Night Live sketch, Anal Retentive Chef. That is based on Phil. Phil is so anal retentive, but he would, whenever he got his scripts, every Monday when we would go to the table read, Phil would sit with his script, and he would have like 5 different colored highlighters that would go through, and he'd go through every line of dialogue with different color highlighters, highlighting specific words that he intended to put a different kind of emphasis on. And then he had plastic tabs all up and down every page. And it was like he would spend hours prepping his script before the read-through. And it was amazing to me that, and he had a very very elaborate code for what all the colors and tabs meant. And the weirdest thing about it was that I think it was completely unnecessary because he was totally a natural. But he had to know everything he was going to do before he started doing it. But then the truth is he was also a great improviser. But I think that was just his comfort thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What was the morale like on that set? Obviously, just all of you guys are so hilarious and funny. Was it hard, like, trying to keep it together and be serious?
Oh, it was one of the funniest groups of people you could ever be around. And also our writing staff, or everyone on the writing staff was hilarious too. And it would definitely get to the point, especially when we were shooting in front of the live audience. There were times where our director, Tom Sharonis, would just have to scream at the top of his lungs, "Everybody shut up and act." Because everyone would start fooling around and sort of improvising and talking to the audience and making each other laugh. And the whole, and it was our director would have to remind us that we were making a TV show. So those studio nights were always incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, we got about 10 minutes left, so we have some time for more questions. Whatever you guys may have, now is your chance.
Yeah, all right.
Welcome back.
Hello again. All right, taking out Teenage Fan Club, Rush, Gordon Lightfoot, favorite Canadian musician.
Favorite Canadians? Oh, well, we were just talking about it. I just sang with one of my favorite Canadian bands in Calgary, a band called Sloan, who are out of Halifax.
Cool.
And one of the best pop bands ever. I think they've got they're up to they have 12 or 14 albums out now. And they're one of the greatest pop bands ever. I also love a band called Odds, who actually Kevin, Mark, and I were in one of their early videos back in the 90s. But again, great pop bands. Of course, Tragically Hip.
That's what I meant. I said Teenage Fan Club. I meant Tragically Hip.
Oh, well, Teenage Fan Club's a great band too. Not Canadian, but great band. And of course, and Rush, and happily, because of being a kid in the hall, I'm friends with just about everyone I've just mentioned.
Wow.
And of course, Steve Page and the Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah.
And who else? My goodness.
Have you heard Black Pistol Fire?
Black Pistol Fire? No, I haven't.
Oh, check them out. Really
Oh,
fun.
I will.
Little
Are they
duo,
Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Recommendations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Very kind, very kind. So, go ahead. Yeah, come on down.
Hello again.
Hi again. Since we're on the subject of music, how did the Kids in the Hall theme song come about? Because that's iconic to me. It's just great.
Yeah, well, actually, it was. I will take credit for the most part. It was when we were doing our club shows. We used to start the shows with an instrumental track by The Jam called "Circus," but after a while, I sort of said, "Well, why are we using this when our friends, the Shadowy Men, have all this great music out? And why don't we use something by the Shadowy Men?" And so everyone said, "Okay." So I ran back to my apartment and recorded the only single I had in the apartment. On one side of it was a song called "Bennett Surf," and on the other side was "Having an Average Weekend." And so I brought the tape back to the Rivoli, our club, and sort of put it up on the PA, and everybody, all the kids in the hall sat around. We listened to both tracks, and everyone went, "All right, having an average weekend." And I think everyone thought, "Well, that'll do for now." And then that became our theme song on our club shows, and then when we got the TV show, we sort of told Lorne Michaels, this is what we want the music to be. We want all the music in between all the sketches to be this band, and which Lorne referred to it as, I don't know what, they want that dirty porn music. And we said, well, you know, that's what we want, Lorne. And Lorne let us have what we wanted. And so Having an Average Weekend became our theme song. And I didn't find out until the wrap party for the series, after 5 years of doing it, that it was the one song that the drummer Don Pyle wrote. Oh, cool. So like everything else, Don only wrote one song for the band, and it turned out to be Having an Average Weekend, and I didn't realize it all those years. Wow. So amazing. Yeah.
How does Lorne feel like about the impression of him on your show?
Lorne, I don't know. I don't know if he acknowledges it. Oh, really? Okay. No, he does. I think he's. Well, the weird thing about Lorne Michaels is that he's the most impersonated man in show business. I think. I think it used to be Jimmy Stewart, but now it's Lorne Michaels because everyone that's ever worked with Lorne does a Lorne impression. Okay. McKinney's is obviously, I think, the best. I'd say so. I think second best is probably Mike Myers. With his Dr. Evil, but I think Lorne was asked about it in the documentary they did about the kids in the hall, and I think his take was, well, everyone makes fun of the boss, so it's just part of the course, Yeah.
I guess you have to have a good sense of humor, right?
He should. Yeah. He's been making his living at it for 60 years.
I know, yeah, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with a few minutes left, I know you also got to work with the wonderful Trey Parker and Matt Stone from South Park fame. I want to know if you can give us any tales from working with those two. Well,
the better tales are from hanging out with those two, but I can't tell you any of those stories. Okay. Well, I can tell you that when they asked me to be in the South Park movie, originally they brought me in. Matt and Trey wanted me to be the Canadian ambassador, the Canadian ambassador to the UN in the movie. But they brought me in, and I couldn't do the fake Canadian accent.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, I couldn't do the oot a boot thing. Yeah. And I kept trying. I said, I can't get it. So they said, all right, well, why don't you play the Baldwin brothers instead? And I said, what? Be the Baldwin brothers. I said, well, I can't do a Baldwin brothers impression. And they said, don't worry about it. Just make them all sound like dicks. And that was their direction. So I went, okay,
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. All right. With our few minutes left, any final questions before? Okay.
All right.
Down. What's your name?
I'm Matt. Just quick follow up on the Alan Bean. I actually bought one of his prints a few years ago. So
yeah.
I'm just curious. Did you actually go to a studio, or have you seen many of his paintings themselves?
I never got to go to the studio in person, but I when I was getting ready for it, I was able to call Al up and ask him questions, and then I met Al in Houston at the Space Center in Houston when we did a special screening for all the astronauts. Most of the Apollo guys were at that, and a lot of the shuttle people were there too. And then we had a really amazing dinner with Al and Pete and Dick, who were the full crew in Los Angeles with the cast that played them and our director John Turtletop. So we all got to hang out with them and have dinner with them. And Al sent me an autographed poster of one of his paintings, and he sent me the coffee table book of his paintings, also autographed. And we kept in touch over the years, but I never got out to see his studio. I wish I had. But Al Bean was one of the kindest men you could ever meet. And we also got to know Dave Scott pretty well, because he was our technical advisor and he was the commander of Apollo 15. And the fun thing was, I know that when Dave was advising us on the set when we were shooting it, he kept saying, you guys, of all the shows we've shot, you guys are the most like the crew that you're playing. He said, you guys you seem exactly like, and he would start talking about stuff they did, and he would start going into it. Now, the cool thing about what you guys did up there is, and I go, no, Dave, we're just pretending. Right. Yeah. So it was a pretty amazing experience.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure.
What's your name?
My name's Kevin. How you doing? Good to see you, Dave. I remember years ago you were in a movie with Pat. You played Pat's boyfriend.
Oh, it's Pat.
Tell us a little
Was I
about
her
that. How many
boyfriend
cats
or
in
her
that?
girlfriend?
Yeah, that was.
Or was I his girlfriend or his boyfriend? Well, thank you. Yeah, that was a fun movie. That was the first thing I ever shot in Los Angeles. Yeah, I was still doing the kids those days. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on up.
What's your name?
So I'm Rivka, DC. Random question. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Go to karaoke. What's it? I think it would be. I would say maybe. I would say either "Let's Dance" by Bowie, or what else? Suffragette City. There, Suffragette City. Yeah.
And what Rush song, if you had to pick one?
Never a Rush song.
Yeah.
Never.
The timing is a little
Yeah,
difficult.
and Geddy. I'm not going to sing in Geddy's key.
Yeah,
Oh no.
that's fair.
That'd be the end of my voice. Yeah.
Do we have a photographer? Oh, he is here. Okay, so if it's okay with you, we're going to take a big group picture with everybody.
Oh, sure.